Hey y'all, today I'm doing my January 2022 reading wrap up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share my channel, and subscribe. Today I'm going over my January 2022 reads. Last month I didn't get as much reading done as I would have liked. I read a total of 4 books, and these were honestly audio books. So again, thank God for my script subscription. Thank God for my ability to listen at work and listen on my commute. And even sometimes I listen while I'm doing a few things at home. And there were some ebooks that I started and I wanted to finish, but I got to get my priorities straight, but that's a whole nother conversation. Let's jump straight into the books that I read. So 3 of the audiobooks that I listened to last month are by Rebekah Weatherspoon. She has a series about the Pleasant brothers. They are 3 cowboys. They're black. They own this glamorous ranch in California. The first one was A Cowboy To Remember. I really like this book. It starts off with the brothers Zach, and the character that we are introduced to is Evie. Evie is a chef. She has her own show on this cooking network with some other castmates. And while she's at a holiday party, her arch nemesis, who is another chef who's jealous of her and all of her success, pushes her down a flight of stairs. And so Evie has a concussion. She wakes up in the hospital and she does not remember who she is, anything about her life. She starts to have these dreams, and in her dreams she sees this black cowboy. And when her friends are trying to find her emergency contact, they contact Jesse Pleasant. And Jesse and his brother Zach comes to the hospital, and she finds out Zach Pleasant is the guy who she has been dreaming about. And so when she asks him about these dreams, he admits she grew up in this small town in California where they are from, and the 2 of them were best friends. And when Evie confessed her love for him, he pushed her away. And so in this book, they decide, because they don't know how Evie's accident happened, they decide that it's best for her to go back to her hometown with the Pleasant brothers, spend some time with them to see if that will get her memory jogged, if she can remember how to cook. And in the meantime, she is rekindling this love she has for Zach. It's like she already has this gravitational pull to him because of these dreams, and just because, she's some kind of way remembers him. And so I thought this was a really, really good book. I love this concept. It's something I've never read before in a romance. And of course, it being a black romance had me sold. Love my black love. I give it 4 stars. What kept me from giving this book a full 5 stars is because there was this high anticipation of when Evie remembers who Zach is, she's going to be so mad and she's going to react like this. And so in my mind, I was trying to come up with different scenarios. If she didn't remember Zach, what would their relationship look like? If she does remember Zach, what's going to happen to their relationship? And kind of when I found out the ending, it was just kind of meh. Like, it was cute, but it wasn't like, oh, like this big sigh of like, oh my God. Like, it wasn't none of that. It was just, okay, that was nice. It kind of fell flat a little bit for me, but it was a really good book. The second book in this series, y'all, this book sold me from the start. It opens up with Amanda McQueen, and Sam Pleasant is an actor. And this is right after he has a big Oscar win. Amanda McQueen and him dance the night away at an Oscar after party, and they end up at a hotel getting into some steaminess. And so the book opens up with Amanda sneaking out. She didn't tell Sam her name. It's just going to be like a one-night thing. But she ends up going to a wedding of her best friend, and the wedding happens to be at Sam's ranch that his family owns. And so her and Sam reconnect. He finds out who she is. And the 2 of them, start getting to know each other. It's supposed to be just a friendship, but of course the sparks fly. Y'all, I love this book so much, and it was better than the first, which this is my kind of series. I like when the books get better and better and better as you continue to read them. This second book had me because Amanda is black and she's a plus size woman. Y'all know, if y'all have been watching my videos, I'm always championing authors, especially black authors, who write books from the perspective of that main character being plus size and finding love. We need more love stories that center plus size women. And in this book, they did not shy away from her size. It wasn't, oh, she's thick, oh, she's curvy. They were like, no, she's voluptuous. And he even said, that voluptuous woman, what was her name? She was so beautiful and captivating. That's what I like to hear. Don't just sprinkle in she was plus size, and as you reading, you kind of forget that the girl is plus size. Let the people know they read about a plus size girl who got a famous actor who just won an Oscar, honey. She snatched him. I give this book 5 stars because it was everything I wanted to read. It was so good. All these Pleasant brothers, they know how to be there for their ladies, and I appreciate that. Book number 3 in this trilogy by Rebekah Weatherspoon is A Thorn in the Saddle. So shout out to Summer Reads Romance on Instagram because she recommended this book. It was one of her favorite reads of 2021. This book centers around Jesse Pleasant, who is the older brother of Sam and Zach Pleasant. He is so protective of his family that when he catches Grandma Lenora, who's a famous actress, kissing her new boo, he scares them and the new boo falls and breaks his arm or bruises it. And so the following day, Lily Grace, who is the daughter of this man, comes and gives Jesse a piece of her mind. Like, don't you be bullying the elderly people. You mess with the wrong one. And sis was so sassy. Another thing I love about Lily Grace is that the author describes her as having vitiligo down her body. And so it was so great. Last book was plus size representation. This is the first book I've read where the main character has vitiligo. And I think it's so important that we show a different spectrum of what Black women look like, how they act, how they react to things, their different jobs. She came from the corporate tech world. Sis had enough money so she could retire. I also loved her backstory. She had some sexual harassment happening at her job, and so she quit because they did not handle it the way it needed to be handled. And so we touch on that, which we know that is a hot topic these days of how Black women are treated, how women in general, but especially Black women, are treated in the corporate world. Sometimes there's harassment, sometimes there's microaggressions and racism. So I was so excited to see Rebekah put that in this book. What I love is Jesse is this rough and tough guy, but he has a really soft and gooey inside, and he doesn't want people to be mad with him, and he stands up for his family. And I just really love that Lily Grace was able to see that soft side of him. And he was so inexperienced when it came to women and relationships. And Lily Grace was taking the lead of their relationship. And that was also something very new in romance novels. You always see the books about these alpha men and they know everything and they come in and they whisk the women away. And so it was nice to see a strong Black woman like, no, I want this, I want that, this is what I like, and really guiding him through how to love her, how to treat her, and how to show up as a great partner in a relationship. I thought this book was so good. I love the romance, the steaminess. Everything about this book was so good that I give it 5 stars. I absolutely love this trilogy. To be honest, If the Boot Fits was definitely my favorite because of Sam and Amanda and my plus size representation. But I have to say, A Thorn in the Saddle was so good. They're about neck and neck. The last book that I read in the month of January is The Perfect Marriage by Jeneva Rose. Y'all, this book is a psychological thriller. It was kind of giving me whodunit mystery vibes. So this book is about Adam and Sarah. Adam and Sarah have been married for 10 years. Adam is an author, while his wife Sarah is partner at this big law firm, and she is bringing home most of the bacon. Because of the switch in their roles and who's the real provider in this family, he does have a deep resentment of her. And so he starts to cheat with a local girl who lives close to this second home they have. The book opens up with them celebrating their anniversary, but on the night of their anniversary, because Sarah can't go out to the cabin and meet him, he instead goes to the cabin by himself, meets up with his little side chick, honey, and the next day he finds out that his side chick has been murdered. And of course, he is the prime suspect because of their relationship. So the whole book, Sarah decides she is going to represent her husband. Who else to defend her husband and get him off than her, who she's been known to get several criminals off. And so this whole book, she's kind of retracing his steps, digging up information on who this mistress woman was and her deep past, and seeing if her husband was actually tied to this, trying to help him get off. This book was really interesting. I give it 4 stars because it definitely had me intrigued on who actually killed her. And I like that the author did a really great job of having me think it was this person. Oh, I'm like, oh yeah, it could be that person, but nope, this happens. Or it could be that person, but then here's some evidence that says it's not that person. And so the author did a really good job of jerking me around when it came to who is the murderer of this woman. And then at the end, when I found out what happened, I was shocked. I was shocked. And it was different, but it wasn't the ending I was expecting, which is a great thing because I was surprised and it was like, oh, I didn't expect that coming. I just kind of needed more at the ending. I feel like the ending was rushed, and I really wanted the author to kind of walk me through how this actually happened. Y'all, that's it for my January reads. Let me know in the comments, what did you read in January and what are you reading this month? Thank you again for tuning in to another Books with Kimberly video.